Remember last episode where I sat and humbly bragged about how we had no injuries, everything was going to plan, and, well, DeMarco was amazing? Still Head Football Manager was listening. DeMarco has broken his ankle whilst on international duty with Italy. I only have one backup left-sided player in Pellegrini. If he gets injured, I'm going to have to play Guiri at left midfield. I really don't want that to happen. How's it going, folks, and welcome back to Atalanta. Today we have a double header against Real Madrid. Two fairly pivotal games in our Champions League group. Two games that really give us a chance to test ourselves against one of the best teams in world football. Since you were last here, of course, we ended things on a high with a really good start to the season. It's not really maintained itself, unfortunately, and I can't even put it down to the injury to DeMarco because that happened very recently. As you can see, it's not all green. There's some red. There's some losses. Of course, last episode, 4-1, 3-0, 6-3. Good wins, but there was definitely room for improvement, and unfortunately, that improvement didn't happen. As you can see here, game number 1, we lost 2-1. Did we deserve to lose? Probably not, but Verona are quite decent. I thought we'd savoured a draw. I thought we managed to get that from absolutely nowhere. Unfortunately, the offside flag was up. And with a rotated team, certain players didn't show up. Certain players did show up. My favourite, Zakayan. But ultimately, first defeat of the season. They say bad things come in threes, so maybe this was number 2 of those 3, with DeMarco's injury being the other. We took on Sassuolo. Now, it wasn't quite the 11-goal thriller of last time we played them. In this match, 2 goals down, kind of early on. 20 minutes gone, not in a great position, but into the second half, a fight back happened. Musa, working some magic on the near side, crossed it over. DeMarco's header was cleared away to Guiri, who scored, well, a relatively simple finish in the end, and then, well, we got another. It wasn't a pretty goal by our own standards, but the ball lumped forward. Sesko, not pretty. We had a really pretty goal last game. That was the opposite. At 2-2, I was sat thinking, let's get on the front foot, let's get a third, let's get the win. That didn't happen. We conceded in pretty much the last 5 minutes, and with that, there was no time to respond. 2 defeats in a row, and this one really sucked. Now, the good news is those 2 defeats kind of acted as a wake-up call, and we kicked things off the month of October with a 5-1 win against Monaco. Great performance, Sesko with a couple. Also nice to see Pobega get his first club goal. Of course, a new addition to the team, been a bit of a rotation option, maybe semi-slow to get going, but he did fine there. And well, we got another 5 goals against Spezia. We were 5 goals up in this game. I would have loved a clean sheet. We didn't get the clean sheet. However, what we did see was Luca score 4 in a single match. He now has 7 in 7 in Serie A. He's kind of taken over from Raspadori, who by his own standards, only 4 goals in 6, has started the season slowly. I do feel like he set some unrealistic expectations last season, though. In our most recent game, Sesko getting on the score sheet twice was great to see, of course. At 20 years old, he is only getting better. He has settled into the club fairly well, all things considering. Been a bit of a super sub option for us. He got a couple here starting, and what was also really nice to see was Notto come off the bench and get his first ever goal in Atalanta colours. It was a little while coming. He'd had some chances in previous cameos on off the bench. He has scored. He's unhappy at the moment because I didn't include him in the Champions League squad, but I'm hoping a couple of minutes of first-team football here and there in Serie A will see him turn that frown upside down and that trading rating go up, because 5.6 is not very good, is it? So looking at the league table, 8 games played now. Those 2 defeats, those points dropped, have proved critical, at least early on. Inter and Roma ahead of us. Roma, the only team still in the division unbeaten. Elsewhere, Milan have had a really slow start to the season, but they have won a couple recently, so they're on a road to recovery. And well, you might have spotted it here. DeMarco, highest average rating, most assists, just as a reminder, not available for months. So yeah, the next few months might be a bit tricky. So over in the Champions League, perhaps predictably, ourselves and Real Madrid are running away with things. But of course, if you win the group, you're seeded to play against us come second in another group. So I would like to do well against Real Madrid. I feel like this is a chance for us to test ourselves. It's almost a warm-up for the knockout rounds, which at this early stage feel like a foregone conclusion that we will qualify for. In terms of team selection for this match, this is the team I'm going to go with. I have been bringing Richie back into the team at 22 years old. I feel like we have to show a little bit of faith, and whilst his average rating still isn't that good, there has been moments of quality. He got a 7.2 as we lost to Verona, and as you can see here, when we beat Benevento, he got a 7.5. So maybe he just needs to get used to the new surroundings. He's going to get the nod. Elsewhere, pretty much a full-strength team. Luca and Raspadori leading the line. Worth noting that Pellegrini coming in for the injured DiMarco. Interesting as well to note that when DiMarco broke his ankle during the international break, Luca was the man to replace him in the national team setup. So if I have a replacement, and I do have a replacement for DiMarco, I'd argue that Pellegrini is the best possible one we could have. Whether or not he can live up to DiMarco's standards, we'll find out today. So the first of the 2 games against Real Madrid is at home. So if we're going to win one of them, this is perhaps our best opportunity. I am wary of how good they are in the wide areas. We're going to keep a close eye on that as we play this game. You can see here they've got Vinicius Jr. and Koeman in the wide areas. Elsewhere, they've got Kyle Walker at right back, and the rest of their team doesn't look that weird for Real Madrid. I say that, Kyle Walker at right back's kind of weird, isn't it? I think we are going to have to be wary of what they do on the overlaps with their wing backs of Alaba and Walker, of course, Vinicius Jr. and Koeman. I expect to see cut in. And while really today, I just want us to show that we can go toe-to-toe against this kind of opposition. And well, we might have a chance here because Raspadori, who's stood over that free kick, now DiMarco's not here, has just scored goal number 5 of the season for him. DiMarco, friendship ended. Never needed him, never was worried that he was gone. Raspadori, he scored a few pretty mad goals with some insane curve. That's another one to add to the collection. Pellegrini on that far side, of course, he is going to be under the microscope, I feel like, for the next few months. I'm a little bit concerned about the need for rotation. I would not be surprised to see maybe Musa or Renato Sanchez make cameos at left mid if necessary. But at least for now, I mean, Pellegrini's not done badly so far during his time at the club, but never really has been that main man that he's perhaps going to need to become for us. Anyway, we're working the ball down this aforementioned left-hand side, and Pellegrini's going to pick out Renato Sanchez, who's going to score. You know what, Luca Pellegrini, you might be all right. We are 2 goals up against Real Madrid after less than half of the first half. It was Renato Sanchez bursting through the middle. And I feel like, you know, we're taking on the Galacticos. We are not a team of kind of superstars. We are a team that's better than the sum of its parts. You know, players like Renato Sanchez, with respect to him, a little unremarkable, but he does the business for us there. He takes his chance and he makes it 2-0. Just shy of 10 minutes left of the half. If we get a third before half-time, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to get out a cocktail or a shot of vodka or something and start partying on the sideline. That said, we might be about to get a dosage of reality because they're on the attack. Vinicius Jr. is through. Benzema scores. That was all very simple, wasn't it? Maybe I should put the vodka away. It's 2-1 here. There's 10 minutes left of the half. They knock the ball around nicely. Valverde and Casemiro linking up in the middle. Was that Soleil? It was Soleil. He caught flat-footed, didn't really anticipate the Vinicius Jr. run. That finish at the end was rather simple. 5 minutes left of the half. Luca trying to put the ball into the box. That was a really weird spot for the highlight to begin, but well, the highlight is going to continue on here as Real Madrid have the ball and play it forward to Benzema, who's bursting through like he's Usain Bolt in the middle. The good news for us is he finished like he was Usain Bolt. His shot just wide of the mark. Halfway through this game, we've not done badly. We've not done amazingly. I mean, they've only had 1 shot, so I suppose from a defensive point of view, we've been good. And we've taken the chances that have come our way. I'd like to see us create a little more in the second half, but at the same time, I don't want to make a load of changes unnecessarily here. We'll see how this first kind of 10-15 minutes of the half goes, as Real Madrid yet to have a goal so far in this half, he says, as the ball enters our penalty area yet again. But maybe a chance to counter-attack here. Musa, the new addition, giving it down the line to Luca. Now with Renato Sanchez, who got that all-important goal. Pessina, Raspadori, plays it through to Luca. Rudiger's tackle was not good enough. The finish from Luca was more than good enough. He finds the bottom corner. I think he's just headbutted the flag. He is an absolute nutter, is Luca. And, well, I'm going to take that goal even if there was a degree of fortune about it. Pessina, Raspadori, that pass was not a very good pass. We've got lucky, but you know what? You make your own luck, or at least that's the saying, isn't it? I don't know if I believe in it. We're 3-1 up. We're looking good. I'm going to make some changes, though, off the back of it. Ricky is not at the best of games. Let's bring in Ravella. Renato Sanchez on a booking. You know what I'm going to say. Tick it off the WorkTheSpace bingo card. It scares me. Elsewhere, Musa on a yellow is not ideal, but I don't want to make another sub. So we'll just tell him to ease off tackles and be sensible. We've got half an hour to ride out here. And whilst we are 2 goals to the good, you have to imagine there's going to be a few chances for Real Madrid before this game's over. Speaking of which, I might have just talked it into existence. They take a free kick short, they go back wide. Rafa has an effort, it's saved by Marco. That was sensational, and Pessina puts in a crunching tackle, and now we're looking on the break. We outnumber them. Unfortunately, the ball there, not ideal, but Ravella mops up the pieces, gives it to Raspadori, and oh my word, he has just hammered it against the underside of the crossbar. It's bounced down, it's bounced up into the roof of the net. You get double style points for that, I believe, when you're trying to score sexy goals, and that was just an incisive counter-attack. I thought when Pessina played the ball there, he'd maybe blown the chance. Rudiger headed it away, but Ravella, who's just come on, plays through Raspadori, who hits it on his left foot, off the crossbar, into the ground. Don't know if there's a better sight in football. Question marks over, was it offside? As you can see there, run timed to perfection. I don't want to say this is looking like a rout. It's looking very one-sided all of a sudden. Corner for Madrid. Cruz to whip in the ball. And I think Marco saved that. It was through a crowd of players. I was a bit anxious as to where the ball was going to go, but no, he has clung on to it. I mean, if we get a fifth, I might get the vodka out that I said I'd put away. I think then at that point, I can get carried away. Heck, at 3 goals up with 4 minutes left, I think we can get carried away. We've looked really good here. I think it's going to be a slightly different proposition when we take them on in a week or two's time away from home. But here, we are looking very, very good. And we look like we want another. Luca to Soleil. Crosses it in. Raspadori can't quite get there. Eder Militao nodding it back to Courtois, who's going to distribute it into the wide areas. This was where I was worried they could hurt us. They might still hurt us here. Vinicius Jr. Dinks the keeper, hits the woodwork. I think we got a bit lucky there, but with extra time on the agenda, 3 minutes of added time, I'm going to make one last sub. Luca, off you come. Benjamin Sesko, see out this game. 4 minutes left. 4 minutes done. It's going to finish here 4-1. A good little team performance. Pellegrini, 8.1. And Raspadori back at his best. 2 goals to his name in this one. A good, convincing performance. Nice to see Renato Sanchez and Luca get on the score sheet. And with that, we go top of the group, and our head-to-head looks really, really solid. We put ourselves in a great position there to top this group. Now we just have the small matter of doing it all again at the Bernabeu, which, I mean, how hard can it be? It's not like it's that much of a fortress, is it? It'll be fine. Worth noting, in La Liga right now, Real Madrid are underperforming a little bit. They're down in 4th, so they're going to be juggling a couple of different battlegrounds as they prepare for their next game against us. You can see it's going to be on the 7th of November. They've got a few games between then and now. We've just got the one, so we're going to have a nice chilled out time. Real Madrid are going to have a load of games to play. I'll join you guys for that match. Oh, I'm kind of excited for the second one all of a sudden. We didn't get battered in this one. Can we do the double? Can we win away? I'm starting to believe it's possible. I was far too casual about this Cremonese game having been Real Madrid. B team played. B team didn't really show up. Sesko, Guiri, Amy. I don't want to put any specific players under the magnifying glass. They were all awful. Ultimately, it was a 95th minute goal from Raspadori that saved us a point. And unfortunately for us, in the other game that was going on at the same time, Inter beat Roma, meaning they're now 5 points clear at the top. So, yeah, I mean, we're only 9 games in. We were never in this position last year, though. We are going to be chasing from here on out, it feels like. But alas, we can't focus on that right now. We've had 9 days off. Now we do battle against Real Madrid. In terms of team selection, it is the same team that played them before. I am not changing anything. Pellegrini still at left mid. DeMarco has not miraculously been healed, unfortunately. Elsewhere, obviously, you can see the bench here. We've got options. I've just realised this is a competition where we have 7 players on the bench. I've picked a bench as if we've got more than that. I'm going to put some strikers on the bench. I'll join you in game. So I have sorted the bench. I'm very intrigued to see here how Real Madrid maybe change things, having obviously played us a couple of weeks ago and not done that well. Just looking at their team, they're playing the same formation, and it looks like a very, very similar 11. I think the one difference there is Rodriguez in the team. I don't think he was there previously. In terms of our team, I think Pellegrini and Richie are the 2 guys to keep an eye on. 2 players who I need to see a little bit more from, especially Richie. Maybe this is a game that he can do well in. They say diamonds are forged under pressure. There's not much more of a high-pressure situation than away against Real, is there? First 15 minutes in this game, first highlight of the game now on the far side. Richie in possession, falling at the way of Musa. Pessina now with it. He's going to try and get forward and gets dispossessed. Vinicius Jr. now charging down at our defence. Soleil is going to have to be at his best here, and he puts in one tackle, but it's not quite enough. Vinicius Jr. still in possession, gives it to Benzema, who does Karim Benzema things. He volleys it in. I'm pretty sure this is going to count. I think it was Badia Chile on the far side. Looked like he was in kind of a good position to mark out Benzema. He's so much taller. Obviously, Romero comes across to cover, but Badia Chile just the wrong side of Benzema, and a really good finish. Marco, not his fault. He's been scored from there. Was it offside? No. According to the line definitely doesn't line up with Benzema. We're not going to question it. We'll say that first shot of the game for Real Madrid was their goal. They've not done much since, but well, they could have another chance here because Alaba's hit it. It's parried away by Marco just about. They've not created a lot, but they've had the two biggest chances of the game, one of which they took, and well, I'm getting deja vu. They've got another here. Marco makes another superb stop. Let's not give away free kicks in that area anymore. I feel like Alaba's slowly getting closer and closer to scoring. We've still got a corner to deal with here. It's going to be whipped back post. Vinicius Jr. with it. Rodriguez goes all the way back to Walker. And well, you know what? I will breathe a sigh of relief. That highlight ends, and now it's another free kick for Alaba. It's the third of the half. Marco makes another stop, and then who was that in the middle there? Badia Chile. What a tackle, my friend. That is absolutely mahoosive. Still a corner to deal with, but I'm going to get shouty with the players. And maybe we can have a turnaround of our fortunes. On the balance of play, it's been a closer game than it feels off the highlights. Well, there might still be one last highlight here in the last minute of the half. 2 minutes of added time. We're already into the second. Real trying to play out from the back. We are trying to, well, press them and cause them some issues, but they're knocking it around confidently. Vinicius Jr. with a little bit of space to open up into here. Soleil caught out of position there, trying to close him down, and now the big switch over to Koeman. Definitely feel like it's when teams switch the play against us that we run into issues with our three at the back due to the absence of wing-backs. Alaba, who's been taking all those free kicks, causing us some issues, plays it inside. Valverde to Walker. From one side to the other, we're defending so narrowly here. Plenty of men between us and the goal. Doesn't matter, though, if Pellegrini hacks down Koeman. They've got a chance to score a penalty here to make it 2-0. And, well, I knew it was too good to be true after the first game. It's all coming crumbling. Now, this is like the Man City game all over again. The good news for us is, this is the group stage. If we're going to have a performance like this, let's get it out of our system now. Benzema steps up. Marco goes the wrong way. It's 1-0. Well, it was 1-0. It's now 2-0. I can't even count. Maybe we can do better in the second half. At half-time, getting shouty. You've been terrible. Don't need to say anything more than that. You've been bad. Sort it out. This is not what I want to see to start the half. A minute in. Madrid with a chance. Edge of the box. Switched over to Kyle Walker, who I've kind of slated earlier. I'll admit it. Ball played in. And I think that was Romero on that occasion, putting in another pretty big tackle for us. I feel like we're losing in the midfield here. So I'm going to make some changes. Zach Hyen's going to come in. I'm going to bring in Ravella to play as the box-to-box midfielder. And I'm kind of tempted to make another change and bring in Sesko. I feel like fresh legs in the midfield, Sesko up front, him and Luca alongside each other are two big, meaty men. Raspadori hasn't got that same physicality, which I think might be needed in this game. And while Sesko, fresh off the bench, has a chance, would Raspadori have scored it? We may never know. However, what I do know is the keeper has turned it round the post. Ravella to take the corner, whipped in Soleil. I'll tell you what, Courtois had to tip that over the crossbar. We're knocking on the door. We're ringing the doorbell. Hello, Real Madrid. Let us in. We want a goal. Fortunately, the defence is holding firm, at least for now. It was a bold move to make all our changes at half-time. I don't feel like it's changed the game as much as I was hoping. We've created stuff, but not nearly enough. I feel like with 20 minutes left, it's now time to chase things. I just had a moment when I looked at this where I'm like, that's not the 3-5-2 that I thought it was going to be. So when we signed Sesko, I looked at how we could play Sesko, Luca and Raspadori during pre-season. I completely forgot I set that up. It's an idea for another day. A target man between two advanced forwards. I'll let you guys decide whether or not that should be something that we proceed with. In terms of the team here, going to make some changes. Going to ask Ravella just to play a bit more of a defensive midfielder role within the team. But Musa and Pellegrini going to be given permission to go forward. This is kind of our old attacking style of play. I feel like at this point we need to throw more men forward. We need to try something maybe even a little more direct than what we're already doing. To be frank, it's not really worked in this game. However, 2-0 away against Real isn't the worst performance in the world. I don't think. Maybe I'm just trying to cope with that mindset, but I don't feel like we've been that bad. I mean, they scored a penalty. That inflated their XG quite a lot. On the balance of play, I think it's been more even than the scoreline would suggest. We could still have a chance here as Sesko goes for a wonder goal on the volley and hits wide. Just noticed there in the other game, Monaco are winning 4-2. So they are likely to get out this group and into the Europa League through finishing third. We might have a chance here. Zach Haryan tries to play it to Sesko, eventually finds its way to Sesko. Luca gets on the end of it. Bit of fortune there. I think that was another one that might have hit Rudiger's shins on the way through. I think Rudiger's got more assists than the rest of our players during these 2 games against Real. But Zach Haryan just acting as the tip of a spear through the middle as the shadow striker. Gives it to Sesko. Was that Rudiger? It was Rudiger. Luca smashes it into the bottom corner. I mean, look, there is whatever added time there is to get another goal. And I was about to go more attacking. And a kickoff highlight began immediately. I mean, if we get 2 back-to-back, it could be one of the greatest comebacks you've ever seen. Richie with the ball gives it to Zach Haryan, who tries to play it forward to Luca, who's not quick enough to get it there. And of course, with us committing men forward, we are leaving ourselves exposed at the back, but we might as well go for it at this point. I'm pretty sure that the Champions League group stage uses head-to-head and then goal difference, so our head-to-head record should be safe. Well, if we get a draw, we won't even have to worry about the head-to-head record. Luca, Zach Haryan should have scored. He should have scored. My favourite player, and he's fluffed it. I was about to go attacking. I have now gone attacking. I think it kicked in. There's a highlight begun. Is there one more chance? There's 60 seconds left. We're only playing for a draw here, but I'll tell you what. I love drawing, more so than painting. And, well, I wouldn't mind if we get a consolation back. We're throwing men forward. It's been a bit of an inspired fight back, I feel like, in the last 5 minutes. We've had chances. Pellegrini puts in a crunching tackle to dispossess Walker. 40 seconds left of this game. I once believed that we could make a comeback somehow. Modric to Walker. Options in the middle, unfortunately for us. Coman is one of them. Free header back post. Marco collects. I suspect that that was the highlight because with 20 seconds left, that's not the ball that you want to see. Badiashile, a little ambitious there. Goes out into touch, and with it, it's going to finish 2-1. And you know what? Look, ignore the penalty. That kind of screwed up the XG. Ignore that block shot on the line. In the rest of the second half, they did absolutely nothing. I'm almost prouder of that result than the previous one at home. I feel like away from home, 2-1 is pretty respectable against Real. Despite the result, I'm pleased. They're all happy. I think I'm happy. Looking at the group stage, you can see we are ahead of them because of their head-to-head rules. So as long as we can beat Monaco and Salzburg, we should be fine. That should be straightforward, you'd hope. Although, when you look at the games we've dropped points in so far this year, they have been the games you'd expect us to win. Obviously, Verona, Sassuolo. To be fair, Sassuolo were going strong at the time, but they've dropped off a little bit. Obviously, to draw against Cremonese is disappointing. In terms of when we're going to be back next time, I'm looking at Inter, Torino and Napoli, thinking you're a sexy trio of games. Maybe we'll do another triple header. We've already done one of those this season. Beyond that, we have got the Italian Super Cup. I don't know if the Italian Super Cup is a big deal, but the fact that it's hosted in Saudi Arabia, which I think is the same as some of the Spanish Super Cup competitions, makes me feel like it must be a bit Mickey Mouse for it not to take place in Italy. You guys can let me know what you think of the sound of a triple header to start next week. I think in terms of our league season, beating Inter is going to be rather important. So I feel like that's something we have to go for next time out. Besides that, thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you've had a lovely time. Hopefully I'll see you on Monday. It's Friday today, as you see the video. It gets confusing when you record ahead of time. Yeah, this is not a very good outro, but you know what? We're just going to go with it. I'll see you soon. Have a lovely weekend, and bye. I'll talk to you in a bit. What? No one gets to this point. I've said this before, and only one person noticed it, so it's fine. If you saw this, you saw nothing.